Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is a bit of a different video. This is ICM's 32 scale Gladiator. Now this is already on the channel. I built this kit for 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. I can't quite remember. Maybe I should have just looked into my own channel to find out when I actually did build it. But I thought we ought to have another look at it. It was in 3 parts. You can just see I'm just doing the cockpit here. This is all pretty basic stuff. You can see what we're doing. It was in 3 parts, and I just think it might be good, especially if you're new. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Hello, how you doing? You might not have trawled through the the back catalogue, so to speak, of all the old rubbish I did a little while ago. So if you haven't done that, then this is a good opportunity just to check out the kit and check out my build. Also, if you stay to the end, you will see I'm just dry fitting the cockpit there with a bit of white tack just to see what it looks like. Yeah, there you go. Very nice indeed. It was that long ago. There you go. Look, it was that long ago. I was still using Steinres, which is very good. It's an acrylic primer. I've stopped using that a little while ago now. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, back to the build. Yeah, so what I did, I obviously built this kit for the channel, and then a year or so later, 2 years later maybe, I built it again for a Battle Britain group build I held, as I say, it's quite a few years ago now, on British Aviation Scale Facebook group. Go and check it out. Still going strong. But obviously I didn't do anything on YouTube with that kit. So it's a good way of combining that with the camouflage scheme, if you like, the Mark II with the Silver Mark I. Very similar builds. In fact, they're probably exactly the same. There's a bit of difference with this. As I say, this is a bit of an older video now. You can see I'm using the green background now, which I don't use anymore. Probably this wash going on, this probably would be a bit more refined these days, perhaps. Slap it on, Bay. Yeah. No. So going back to the Mark II Gladiator, there is not much difference. I'll just check notes. Yeah, there isn't much difference between the two aircraft. The Mark II had a more powerful engine and a 3-bladed prop, and that's about it really. There's a slight differences in the cockpit. Not that you'll see anything other than the fact it's got the Mark II had a black instrument panel, whereas you've just seen this has got the wooden instrument panel. Yeah, I do remember this, seeing this. I got the wrong instructions, so I had to go on to ScaleMates. I think it's ScaleMates, and just have a look at the instructions. And now these, you may well have done these fabric seat belts yourself. They are a real pain. They come out really great, don't get me wrong, but putting them together is a bit of a chore. What I did in my older videos, as you can see, I used a bit of lower thirds text just to help with your viewing pleasure. I certainly don't do that now anymore. So yeah, this kit is absolutely lovely. This is giving me I'm just getting a bit of a on these belts. Yeah, no, go back to the ICM kit. It's really lovely. It's certainly one of my favourite kits. I certainly wouldn't rule out doing a third Gladiator, which would have to be the Sea Gladiator, of course. probably in Malta. I'm not due to build it. I haven't got a kit. I would like to do it at some point. I think it's such a great kit. Good beginner's kit as well. Good easy kit to build as well. I think I like it. You know, if you was thinking about getting into biplanes, I think I said this before, I might have said this in the original video, if you wanted to get into biplanes and you're a bit I think this is when wings was still an ongoing concern, so you could still get hold of them relatively cheaply and they were relatively available. And I think I said then that this would be a great way, this kit would be a great way just to get into biplanes, bigger biplanes, because it's got no vices whatsoever. It's really great. I can't recommend this kit enough, and it's a great aircraft anyway. Nice, good looking aircraft. So originally the as I say, the video was split up into three parts, and it went okay, but I just feel it would do better on a one single viewing. Sometimes I tend not to follow up on multi-part videos unless it's recommended by YouTube, of course. Parts 1 and 2 come up on the algorithm. I don't know why. I think it's just a case I don't think people just want to get on and watch stuff, don't they, rather than hunting for it. Maybe. Yeah, we're still doing the still doing these seat belts. I think I probably should have edited this out, I think. Yes. Is it gonna? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, there you go. Fell off. No, and great kits. And obviously the aircraft itself fits in brilliantly with Sway's Southwest Aviation in Scale. I'm going to give that a bit of a plug this year. Actually, more about that later on, I think. There'll be some videos coming up, obviously, channel chats, and we'll have some builds and later on in the year, and we'll probably talk about Sway's a bit more. But it's kind of it was in the doldrums a little bit, I'm going to be honest, but it's certainly reinvigorated now. And this obviously fits in perfectly with that. If you're not aware what Sway's is, as I said, Southwest Aviation in Scale. So if you know about bays, it's similar to bays, but it's concentrated on the southwest of England, which is obviously where I am. Lots of history, lots of stuff that you don't know about, lots of stuff that I don't know about. Obviously that's the whole point of having a SIG or an interest, is to find out more about that, the subject that you're interested in. So this is what this is. So what the Sway's is, it's aircraft and aviation subjects all connected with the southwest of England. So that's manufactured down here, or it spent time here on deployment. I might it's sometimes I have got a kit to do later on in the year, which I might stretch the see, that doesn't look too bad, does it? It looks okay. Once it's all in together, the seatbelt looks absolutely fine. And I have got a few more 32 scale aircraft, British aircraft, that will need this seatbelt doing, so I need to stop moaning about it and get on with building a few more. So this is the Mark 1, which has got the bare wooden, if you like, instrument panel. Mark 2 is painted black, which you might see in the photos at the very end. Yeah, so it's any aircraft that's connected with the southwest. Like I say, it's I might stretch it out to aircraft that have crashed into the southwest. I've got to do a kit, like I say, later on in the year. Well, I want to do a kit later on in the year, which was shot down. The aircraft itself, won't say what it is just in a minute, just in case I don't do it. The aircraft was shut down over Brixham, which is, if I look at my wall, which I can't see, if you look you can't see it, but it's 5 miles away that way. Doof. Yeah, don't look too bad. basic interior, basic aircraft, but that doesn't take away how nice it is. Lovely. Just there's a lot of speeded up footage here, obviously, because the I did edit the original 3 episodes down, but it was still pretty long, so the way to get around it, of course, is just to speed up the footage. You don't really lose anything. We all know what we're doing here. There is nothing in these videos that's anything revolutionary. They're just obviously just nice. It's a good advert for ICM, of course, but it's just good to see what lovely kit this is. So I might just leave it just for a sec and just let us catch up with some of the build. if you do get to do this build, just bear in mind that the engine halves, if you like, are handed, which I'm just showing there. It took me ages to work that out, longer than I'm showing here. It's been edited down quite a bit. It is handed, and you do get it wrong. Well, I did. There you go, I'm showing you how wrong you can get it. There are, well, I think there is 3D printed replacements. Well, if there isn't, there should be. But in fairness, out of the box, it's very good. If you was having the cowls open, possibly you might want to invest in a 3D printed engine, Mercury, isn't it? But obviously with the cowlings closed, I don't think you need to. Everything fits. There's no gaps. There's no messing about. Mark 1 prop is two-bladed, wooden prop. The Mark 2 is a metal 3-blade prop. Did I say at the beginning, if you hang around right to the very end, or you could always fast forward, of course, there is some photos of the Mark II Gladiator I built for Battle of Britain group build, and yes, it did fly in the Battle of Britain briefly out of Roborough down here near me in Plymouth. I think the less said about that debacle, I think the best it is, you can possibly look it up for yourself, but it didn't go well for the old Gladiator, poor old thing. There you go. This is us using AK metals enamels. Then I guess I've stopped using them. Actually, I have only just stopped using them. I just find I get a better result now with the Mr. Hobby and certainly the Tamiya LP metals. They're going down nicely with the collector. And now just to make it look a bit heat stained, we're just using a bit of a clear blue just to tone that brass colour down and to give it a bit of a heat stained look. obviously into paint now. We're getting we've primed with Stylerez. Give it a bit of a wipe down or rub down with some micro mesh, and then this is just all basic painting. Acurus now. I've stopped using Acurus as well now. Yeah, this is taking me back actually. It's taking me back into thinking I really want to do this kit again. That's what it's taking me back into. Yeah, Acurus paints. They never seem to fully dry. Did you ever get that with if you use Acurus? They kind of, I think when they get older, when they get a bit older, they don't seem to dry off randomly. I did a kit and can't remember which one it was now, and I left the paint overnight and I came back to it the day after, and all the paint was still tacky, and I thought, oh. And I asked a couple of my friends, Paddy, and he says, yeah, they tend not to dry off when they get a bit older, so yeah, they've all gone. Now, LP11, let's talk about LP11, let's talk about great paints. Tell me LP11, there is no other paint for silver dope. If you're going to do a silver dope, fabric silver dope, it has to be LP11. I'll fight you to the death. Perfect. I mean, it's pretty good metal paint anyway, and it's pretty good just for metal, but for a silver doped fabric covered aircraft, it's absolutely, in my opinion, top notch. Bang on. The decals, ICM decals are pretty good. They all do seem to be ever so thin, as you can see. I seem to end up ripping them mostly. I think I remember these a couple of these ripped. There aren't many decals to put on, of course. Roundels, serial codes. That's about it, really. A couple of stencils. And then light weathering. Obviously, this is pre-war. Would have been kept clean, impressively clean, immaculately clean. So just a bit of light weathering. I can't speak. A light bit of weather in here and there, and especially around the cowling there. As I say, if you're going to have that open, you can pose this open via the kit. I think it shows you how to even do it. You might want to invest in a 3D engine, but I mean, you can see there. I mean, it's lovely. It's such a lovely kit. I can't tell you enough how much I love it. Tell you a little horrific story. So Telford last year, 25, if you might remember, if you've taken any notice of what goes on around the channel, it was a last minute decision to go up with Jason and Pat. Fine, yeah, nice time, all the rest of it. So I came back got back on the Sunday evening quite late, about 9ish I think, maybe a bit later than that. I put all my kits away down here next door to where I've got like a little undercroft, my son's friend calls it, and I just came into where I am, sat here in like my modelling room, and I heard this crash. I thought straight away, oh no, get back into like the undercroft, and the box that I have this one in, the silver one, or the two Gladiators I should say, and a couple of other kits had slid off where I put it. And then, of course, opened up the box, broken kits, and I just closed the box and walked away. And that was last November. I think they're repairable. I think it's just the engines have both come off. I think they've broken maybe the undercarriage. I had a quick look and then decided, like I say, just to walk away and worry, and a future me can worry about it. one of the best bits is taking off the masking of the canopy. Well, yes, if you don't have to do cleanup like this, it is. Nice. This is when I could do clear parts. I seem to be struggling with clear parts past few builds I've done as well. I don't really know what it is. I can never get all the skills all together, all in one place, all at one time. Bit annoying, but there you go. I suppose it's life, isn't it? Life. Not too far to go to the end of this, chaps. Then we'll get all to the money shot at the end. Let me know if you, because I've got a couple of these multi-part builds I could edit into one build. Tell me if it's something you'd like to see, or whether you think it's a bit of a cop-out for easy content, or maybe you're new and you don't know about these builds and it's something you're interested in, or maybe you're a long-standing member, thank you, and it's just going down a bit memory lane maybe. Knicker elastic is prim. It's what they use in making knickers. Again, I don't use prim anymore. Actually, it's actually pretty good for 32 scale because it's quite chunky old elastic, and being like silver colour, sort of transparency silver, you don't really have to worry about painting it. So it's a good one to have if you do quite a bit of rigging. It's a good thing to have. It's cheap as chips. You get a little bobbin of it that'll last you a lifetime. Yeah, that Vertigo jig went a long time ago. I think I only used it twice. I got it from Australia, some Australian manufacturer. That took a little while to build, actually, that little stand, and then, like I say, I only used it twice, and I just couldn't use it again. It's just too much work, more work than actually building the kit. Bit of rigging's all right in 32 scale, by the way, not too bad at all. Yeah, we've got to be near the end soon. The undercarriage is going on. Right, just let me know what you think, chaps. And I'll say if it's a positive feedback, then we might see a couple more of these in the next few months. I won't tell you what they are yet, of course. Keep the secret. Anyway, just hold fire, and we'll get to the photos of this Mark 1 and the Mark 2 I built, as I say, 2-3 years after this. Exactly the same build sequence, as I say, exactly the same model, apart from the prop and the instrument panel. Anyway, lads, I will let you go, and I will see you on the next one.